Well, the first thing I noticed, of course, was I couldn't read street signs, but I decided, well, I'll just rely on my GPS. So I got around that problem. But then I started to really notice the tunnel vision driving at night was really disturbing. And in particular, came back from the airport in December from traveling, and I felt like I was in a tunnel the entire drive back to my home. And then I knew I was not a competent driver at night, and I was worried that I was going to kill somebody on the road, actually. So I knew the cataracts were getting worse and worse, and that I needed to um, do something about it. Um, I also had an experience in January that year. I had to drive down to San Diego after for the beginning of the year, and I noticed that I couldn't see the lane lines in the freeway. And of course, my first reaction was, they're going to have to fix that. It didn't occur to me that that was my sight. So I knew it was time to deal with my problem. Also, I needed to get my DMV license renewed, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to pass the eye exam. And that was the major fear factor that got me here. Well, um, it was what I consider one of those things where fate enters in. I got a call from a friend of mine who had just had her surgery done with Dr. Seibel, and I asked her immediately, "Who did you have? Who did you go to see? Please give me his name and his number so I could call," because I had had an unhappy exam with my former eye doctor, who didn't seem to be interested in the multifocal lenses, and so he couldn't answer me why he was recommending against them. And so I needed, if I'm gonna go through this, I want the most perfect sight that I can have. Particularly, going forward, going through the twilights of my life, I want to be able to have the most best sight possible. I was very, very happy. Dr. Sabo answered my questions, which was very important to me. And the office is delightful. Everybody here is terrific. Never had a problem with appointments or scheduling. Any part of the process was all went very, very smoothly and very professionally. It was extremely important for me to hear the pros and cons of each lens and why one was a potential better choice for, because my eyes were different. The sight in each eye was very different, so it made sense to me that the lens should operate differently. Um, I was very, very pleased with being able, and I felt that I was a participant in the decision, which also was important to me. The surgery was a breeze. Couldn't have been easier. Um, I got out. I couldn't believe how fast and quick it was and how comfortable it was. Um, and I felt really at complete ease with Dr. Seibel. He really talked through it and let me know what he was doing at each step. And so it went really, really well. It's perfect. I can see boats in the bay, which I haven't been able to see for years. I can see, um, again, now I'm now back, I can read street sight signs, and I can read. It's sort of stunning to be able to read, but I'm signs that I've never been able to see for years and years. I very upset that I let myself go that long with such poor sight. And I also like how bright and clear everything is. I see colors. I didn't realize how drab and gray um, everything had become in my life. I couldn't distinguish blues and greens. I couldn't distinguish oranges and pinks. It was striking to to figure that all of a sudden figure that out. So it was an extraordinary gift, this surgery, I really feel. I actually asked my nephew, who's an economist, if he could find evidence of a reduction in accidents, involving elderly people, from the onset of the surgery being more standardized and offered to the general public, and particularly to Medicare uh, people. So I'm a big fan, and I really recommend it.